and welcome to my channel. I am Stephanie, and this is going to be a very special and different sort of recommendation video. It's all about the Audible Escape program. Okay, as you guys know, we are a few of my friends and I here on BookTube are doing a Kindle Unlimited Readathon, December the 27th through the 29th. It's a weekend edition, trying to ring in the new year and stuff like that. So I figured that we're releasing Kindle Unlimited recommendations, but at the same time, I would do some Audible Escape recommendations for you guys, just so you know. It may be a little bit of cheating, just a little, but it's a paid subscription program that you can get through Amazon and Audible. And if you're an audiobook listener, you can get so many books, like, as a library thing. And these are more romance than the Kindle Unlimited program, which has all sorts of genres. This is all about romance, and I figured I would give you guys some of my recently favorites that I have read or listened to through the Audible Escape program. This is not a sponsored video. I have been subscribing to the program for a long time, but you know, Audible, if you're listening, I'd be happy to do a sponsored video for you. But these are some series that I had read before, and then I listened to them, and I absolutely adored the narration. Just a couple tips for those that are very hesitant about listening to an audiobook. If you have an issue with listening to an audiobook, try speeding it up. That is like my #1 tip whenever I talk to people about how they can't listen to audiobooks. Try speeding it up. On the digital platform for Audible, you can go to the speed and change it. Try and inch it up just little by little until the sound of the narration is conversational, or as if you were watching television. Narrators do not purposely talk slower, but for some reason, when it comes to audiobooks, it is a little bit easier if you speed up the narration for your ear and your brain to comprehend it. Another tip is, that is like my main tip. That's the only tip that I'm going to give you guys. Let's get into these books that you guys can check out, which are still, when I was recording this, in the Audible Escape program. The first series I'm going to talk about is the Up in the Air series by R.K. Lilly, In Flight, Mile High, and Grounded. These 3 books are absolutely amazing. They came out during this sort of boom of BDSM, so there are those aspects to it, but there's also a level of romantic suspense that goes along with it, and you have this rich billionaire that starts to take flights so that he can be in the presence of this flight attendant. And then they start a relationship. This is about their relationship. And I really loved it. I love this series. I read it initially and loved the series. And then I got it, or I found it on Audible, and then I re-listened to it and loved it even more. So I definitely think this is a series that's smoking hot and that's enjoyable. It has some romantic suspense that goes along with it, and I think you guys should check this one out if you get the chance. The next Audible that I'm going to talk about is The Headmaster by Tiffany Reisz. Oh my goodness. I just recently read this one, or listened to it, and in October, it was absolutely amazing. So there really isn't a set genre or subgenre that I can place this book in, because it has magical realism, it has gothic, it has this sort of erotic feel to it, and it deals with a time frame that is very interesting, where social norms of today weren't acceptable. So like in the 1918, there really isn't a time frame. I don't want to spoil anything by giving you a concrete time frame, but yeah, This was such an interesting listen. It had this weird creepy factor to it, but at the same time was very engaging, and it was sort of a quick read or quick listen. I believe it is under 6 hours, if not just over 6 hours for an audiobook, and it was absolutely amazing, completely engaging, and definitely gonna be like one of my hyped books for this year. So I think you guys should go check that out. If you're looking for rom-coms that are sort of off the cuff and new adults and things like that, I think you should check out the How to Date a Douchebag series by Sara. I absolutely adore this series. I started listening to this series before I actually started reading it. I was collecting the books and just hadn't listened to it or hadn't read them yet, and when I started to read them, most of them are dually narrated, so you have a male character and you have a female character voiced by male and female characters, so you don't have to figure out which character is speaking or how they sort of fit together. The narrations are pretty seamless and amazing. At least they were for my ear. And there's fun and witty and sexy times, and they're just so much new adult goodness that I like to recommend this series to a lot of people. If you can, listen to it, definitely do that. The next series that I'm going to talk about is the Checkmate series by Kennedy Fox. And this series finished off my goals for last year to hit 365 books. They are very quick reads. It's 3 duets for 6 books, and I listened to them like back to back to back to back. I was so invested in these couples. They're fun, they're witty, they're smart, they're sexy. There's conflict that goes along in them, and then you're just brought into the worlds that Kennedy Fox has decided to intertwine and interweave with them. This is an author it's an author duet for one, but these guys know how to make you want to read even more of their books. This series got me completely addicted to their writing, and I would rep them like all the time. The next couple books are from Bromberg, and that is Faking or Fake It and Sweet Cheeks. Both of these books are sort of fake romances and need to have the snarky sort of characters, love, hate, enemies thing going on, and I really enjoyed both of these books by Kay, and I think you guys should go check them out. I do believe these are dually narrated as well, and by narrators that were very good to my ear. The next series that I'm going to talk about is the Rugby series by H.L. Cosway and Penny Reid. I was thrown off my rocker when I listened to this, or the first book in the series, and it was so much what I needed. There's so much sexy time. There's so much just funny things that happen. The narrator's freaking Irish lilt is amazing, or at least for my ear it was like, hey, panty dropping, yes, so many yeses. And then I'm going to talk about See-Through Heart and A Steel Heart by Amie Knight. These 2 books are going to rip your little heart out. So See-Through Heart is about 2 friends that kind of go their separate ways because of some things that happen in their childhood, but they also find their way back to each other, so it's a second chance love story. It's very emotional, and I was completely here for it. And A Steel Heart happens to deal with a military veteran who has some PTSD and a woman that sort of likes to stay at home. She likes to deal with her list, and he figures out a way to pull her out of her comfort zone, but she also in turn helps him with the things that he's going through. Both books are super emotional, and they are both available in the Audible Escape program. So let me know if you have read or have listened to any of those books that I have just listed off. I do have a complete shelf over on my Goodreads page profile that is all about Audible Escape program. I also have shelves for my Hoopla Digital Scribd and Overdrive that I have listened to as well. However, some of those programs also go along with what your library has decided to get, whereas Audible Escape is just about Audible, which books they decide to put into the program, or which authors decide to put their books in the program. Very different. Very different. So go check those out. I think that is all. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Also, there is a feedback form down in the description box so you guys can help me improve my channel. Thank you for watching, and we will see you guys later.